Hey, everybody. This is Carlos and Sandy Lee, and you're listening to the Off Your Flosser podcast. We're here to rock your world.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And go floss yourselves.
Thanks, everybody. Now go floss yourself.
Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 18th of June. I am Carlos, and that is Sandy Lee.
What up now?
And this is Off Your Flosser podcast. This is episode 35, and we have the one and only, the amazing Mr. Hamish Kayat. Sandy, what do you think?
I think it's Hamish Kayat.
You know?
I mean, come on. That's a pretty awesome
That's
name,
a cool
right?
dude, though, man. I told you he looks like Thor's younger brother. And
yes.
Beautiful man.
Yeah. Of course, I think Thor works out just a tad more than
Maybe.
him. Just a tad.
But I think he runs faster. Like
he
a
might,
gazelle.
Yeah. He's got the, you
know, like a beautiful gazelle.
like a gazelle being chased by a cheetah.
I tease him a lot, but he's a super, super cool dude. And our interview was super fun. And he gets to talk about his company, burstoralcare.com. And we talk about all his products and stuff. And Sandy.
And a bunch of crazy stuff.
Sandy hit him with a bunch of questions. You know, we learned some stuff we didn't know about him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
super interesting interview. Fun, not super scientific, but tons of fun. A little history on the product and the company, and about himself.
Right.
And how are you today, Sandy?
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, you know, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
I started getting a little giddy around Thursday.
Well, I'm not going to get into it. We'll talk about it again next weekend.
We need to have a whole podcast to dedicate to you.
I had a little incident this past weekend, but we can talk about it next week.
Yeah,
okay.
We will. Let's make it a surprise.
Let's tease them about it, you know?
Yeah, it's a teaser.
All right.
Check out episode 36 coming out next Friday.
That's right. So let's get on with it. And who do we have again?
Hamish Kayat. So he's from Burst Oral Care. He's the founder and the CEO of Burst Oral Care, and he has created a nation of hygienists who just love the product.
A veritable.
And it won our
Purple Army
battle of the brushes. Yes, very purple, smiley.
It's one of the funnest companies I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with. And all right. Without further ado,
so easy going. Yeah,
let's get to it. You ready?
Here's Hamish. Cha cha cha.
Look at that. We're all gonna have a dance at one point.
You know,
is that how it ends?
I'm ready to party at Smile City and at RDH Under One Roof. I'll be at both of those, so I'm ready.
Oh, Sandy, we're gonna have to hit it up hard. We've got the party at Under One Roof on the first night, so that should be a good time. Awesome. Or even better as well, if that's the night, we're all going honky tonking afterwards.
Honky tonking?
Yeah, so basically, Brittany being from Chicago, me being English, like we were taken one night. We had a few too many drinks. We met another person, and then they dragged us to this honky tonk place. They now are actually an employee because they were so awesome and fun that night. And,
that's awesome.
And we literally, every time we go back to Dallas, we hit up the honky tonk again. So we're saying we're throwing a big party, like it's after party.
I've done a little bit of line dancing, just so you know.
Oh, Sandy, by the way, I've done this a couple times, but I am the most inexperienced there. We can practice together, but there will be some awful limbs flying all over the place. It's not pretty.
I wish I could be there.
Actually, take videos.
Carlos, where are you going to be? That's like the most entertaining show of the year. It's our birthday
wish I could
as
be
well.
there to watch. I'm gonna have to miss it, man. I can't swing it this year.
Yeah, he has a pre-established engagement.
Yes, a previously scheduled engagement, and
I tried to get him to scratch it, but he won't. So
is it a good engagement? Worth a visit?
Yeah, well, it's it's a speaking gig, so and these things, these things are booked, well ahead.
No, I like that. No, you got to stay professional.
Yes, sir.
It's not better than Under One Roof.
No.
But
if he committed, it's like you can't just wait around until you get a better invite.
You have to be professional. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, dude.
Man, I know. I was telling Sandy, I go, she's like, do you know Hamish? I'm like, well, yeah, we spent the weekend together in Cancun a couple years ago. I go, it's not as exciting as it sounds. It
Dude, it was Sterling's fucking romantic. It was me, you, Elijah, in quite a small room. We're not small guys, any of us.
And lots of spooning.
There was no room. Almost.
I was on the floor by the end. At the beginning, there was a bit of, who's going to take the middle seat? And then it was clear it was me. And I was like, I sweat probably more than anyone there as well. So it was like, this is just not pretty. Yeah. And then Elijah would order food late at night and sort of, the room in the morning, the smell was quite extraordinary.
Yeah. It was like a college dorm room. It was, Are
we allowed to bring that type of thing up on the podcast? Or are we even live now?
Well, I'm recording, but I can, I edit, but yeah.
Oh, you edit away, whatever you'd like. Every now and again, an English expletive will pop out. I'm not exactly Mary Poppins, so these things will happen.
We don't freak out a little bit or much about that stuff. But
okay, no, I just can't promise that certain words won't come out, and some that my mother probably won't be proud of.
We've said some bad words on here.
Okay. I'll keep them short and punchy then.
Yeah. where if you're not paying attention, you might miss it. You
might absolutely miss it.
Yeah. Carlos, is this episode 35?
It is 35, episode 35.
Oh, guys, you're absolutely rocking through it.
We're not playing around, man.
We've been doing this, 35 weekly episodes, so
well over half a year.
We like to party every Tuesday.
Apparently you do. You go straight into the deep end.
Yeah.
As long as the Bachelor or the Bachelorette isn't playing. Other than that, we've been fairly.
Is that entertaining?
That's her thing.
This season, seriously, I turned it off a little bit early last night because it was a little ridiculous. It's getting boring. So I don't know. But the thing is, I run this group called Lighthearted RDH.
Oh, do I know?
Fantastic group.
So we have a thread every Monday night about the Bachelorette or the Bachelor, and all we do is we're messaging each other in this thread talking about, oh my god, I can't believe he just did that, oh my god, that's such drama.
Okay, the Bachelor and the Bachelorette on at the same time.
No, so they'll do a Bachelor and then they'll do a Bachelorette. So the season.
Okay, so there isn't a big conclusion where everyone sort of kicked out, meets in another house, and then has sort of naughty, we didn't quite win, but we'll still have fun.
That's Bachelor in Paradise. And yes,
there actually is. That does exist.
It does. I watch that too sometimes, but not as religiously as the others. So
the big one, I actually just saw an advert for it when I was walking the dog on the beach. It was Love Island, and Love Island's a big thing in the UK. They basically send them away to an island paradise.
Yes.
They remove most of their clothing and they turn up the temperature, and then it's kind of the same thing.
Wow.
Where you have to couple up. And once you're coupled up, if you're basically, there's always an uneven number. Yeah. So somebody will be left. There's a lot of, sexual suggestions going on here, but basically you have to find a mate. And if you don't, you're kicked out that week. And it gets vicious. So I know that they just sold the rights to the US. I think you'll become an absolute addict because Britain stops when Love Island is on. Absolutely stops. The kettles are boiling for the tea.
I think I would like it. It's almost like musical People.
Yeah, quite literally. But imagine how you're spreading all sorts right now. I don't like this one this week, and he got kicked off, so I'm going to have to,
That's manufactured drama, though.
It is absolutely, genius whoever wrote this idea.
Let's rig it up so there will be conflict,
We need to come
There'll
up
be
with
conflict,
a show
and there will be
really
sex.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing it.
There will be sex.
And then there will be conflict. In which order? We don't care. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So, Carlos, do you want to do? We'll do a quick intro, or do you want to do that after?
We could do it.
I feel like we've just sort of been flowing anyway. You can probably dump some of that in as long as it's not too crass.
Oh yeah. Do we want to just get right into it?
Yeah, let's get on.
So Hamish, am I saying it right?
You are actually. I get a lot of
Hamish?
It's an unusual name. It's Hamish. It's Scottish. It's also in Scotland they'd say it's James, and then they call them Hamish. The closest thing was that Hunger Games, which was Hey Mitch with a TCH.
Right, yeah.
But out here I get a lot of, I introduce myself, hey, I'm Hamish. And they say, oh, you're Amish. I'm like, I think we missed the beginning part. So now if I order coffee at Starbucks, I just go in and say, hey, I'm Ham. And then one day some guy goes, he was like, hey, you really think you're a hard ass? I was like, no, I mean the deli meat. And he was like, this guy really is uncool. So now I'm always Ham.
It's Starbucks. How cool are they there?
Right.
No, this guy thought I was obviously trying to sort of compete in the cool scale, but really I was going for like at least day-old deli meat.
Was he a barista? Did he have a beret on and a bow tie?
Yeah, and he had an equally cool ponytail to myself. It was actually a man bun.
Nice.
And a little goatee,
Yeah, that's
and he cut his sleeves a little bit higher.
Yeah.
It is actually.
But he was still wearing a scarf,
100%.
Sleeveless with a scarf.
Summer.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. We had a thread going in Lighthearted where it was just people posting pictures of man buns that they discovered as they were, going about their day. And it would be like hot or not, kind of, with the man buns. So
I think like 80% of people find it not hot, but the 20% that do find it attractive find it very attractive. Like they're sold on it.
Right.
And so there's kind of this odd, a lot of people just look at it and say, that looks a bit smelly, which I won't deny. Mine sometimes goes a few weeks without being washed.
You might be right, though. But I feel like, I don't know, we're a little crazy in that group. So just maybe we're the 20% crazy people, okay. We all thought it was kind of hot. But here's the thing, too, is I don't like long hair on guys, but I can do the man bun like that.
As long as it's up.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't want it cascading down your shoulders.
A neat man bun.
A neat man bun. Yes. But the problem is, Sandy, if you wake up next to a man with a man bun, like it really is a phenomenal sight, actually, especially with someone like my hair where it's quite curly. I honestly look like a scarecrow in the morning, and actually a scary scarecrow. Like it's
or a chia pet.
Yeah, it's just like having like Afro style, and I think at that point you would hit the no button, not attractive. No.
I would swipe right or left or whatever that is.
There we go. Well, there we go. So we've covered man buns. We'll get to oral care last, I think.
My husband's bald, so like that's what I like now. And
right. And no, Carlos, you've got a little. You've got something there.
It's fuzzy. I look like an old 4-year-old is what I look like. This is.
He makes up for it in the soul patch.
I look like an old 4-year-old.
I look like a toddler with a rough, with a rough couple first years, man.
Oh crap! So Hamish, welcome to Off Your Flosser.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you very much for having me. I have to say, I think you've just made that 80% that don't find man buns attractive tune right out.
So we lost two of our 10, Carlos. We're good.
We go for a core demographic. We go for after
it's a core enthusiast demographic.
Hardcore.
But we are happy to have you here.
No, honestly, guys, it's such a pleasure. I heard you, I think, one of your first ones where you were talking about the burst toothbrush. So I think that was number 4, 3.
So actually, we probably talked about it at some point, but we actually did Battle of the Brushes.
Yeah.
That was
episode 13.
Oh, that was 13, okay.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, though, I'm sure that we came out on top, if I remember correctly. If anyone wants to go back and listen.
I believe so.
So here's the deal, Hamish. Way back when I met you with Elijah Desmond, you guys gave me a brush to try, and I went home and I tried it. And at first, I'm going to tell you, I didn't like it. I couldn't jump on the first bandwagon. But everybody that I talked to was like, no, give it another try, And it took me a year to try it again. A year.
I encouraged you to give it a try.
Yes.
Because you had given me when we were in Cancun. And I was retelling the story. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're the guy with those new toothbrushes. And that you were like very cool. You were like, oh, yeah, mate, you won't give it a go? And I was like, I would love to give it a go. Please, I want to give it a go.
Carlos, that was actually like pre-launch that we were down in Cancun.
Yeah.
I was just with the sample products. I didn't have, the company wasn't live. I was just kind of scoping things out, making friends.
You had a giant suitcase of toothbrushes, like contraband, and he's handing them out. I
got held up at the border. I actually got held up. What are these? What are these? And I was like, they're all kind of vibrating. I look a little bit suspect.
And you had a man bun.
Yeah.
And I had a man bun, and I had these vibrating bits of equipment in my bag, and a lot of them, like a satisfactory amount.
Oh my god!
But I have to be honest with you, I didn't try it for like 3 or 4 months after I got back, and then the brand that I was using stopped working on me, and I fired it up, and I was like, wow. So when Sandy and I started talking about it, I'm like, you have to give it another go. You have to give it. Now I'm stuck with that phrase. You have to give it another go, and I convinced her to try.
Go.
And we used Plaque HD toothpaste with Ian Miller, which is a phenomenal.
Oh, we love it.
It's a plaque disclosing toothpaste, and we did each brand for a week, and for the value, the price, the efficacy, the ease of use, I mean, it was pretty much hands down for us, and I recommend it all the time, man.
But aren't you proud? Pleased you gave it another go, Sandy.
And I'm glad she did.
So I totally expected to, because I was a firm Sonicare, love my Sonicare. I didn't use anything else. I started with the Oral-B. We got a free one in hygiene school. Top of the line, power toothbrush, Oral-B. I loved it. No big deal. So I tried the Sonicare, loved it more. And then, so I tried the Burst, didn't like it at first, waited a year, gave it another try. And I'm going to tell you, the second time I tried it, I have no idea what the difference was, but I was like, I think I'm going to have to put my Sonicare away.
Well, Sandy, I got to say, like, the first time people use it, they're a bit surprised because it's very soft and it tickles just a little bit. Honestly, by the second, third time you use it, you'll get very much more used to it, and you'll just feel like clean, after you brush. So it's one of those things it's very different from what's else there on the market in terms of how soft our bristles are. But the motor being more powerful actually does clean as you feel clean.
Yeah.
So it just takes a little bit of a couple of days to get used to. What we found though is actually like patients find it easier to get used to who come from a manual toothbrush.
Yeah.
It's those that have come from another electric find it a little bit trickier for the first couple goes to go into burst. Those that come from a manual, patients are like, oh, this is, got to say, it doesn't rattle. It's got a rubber backed head. It's an easier transition, and they feel very clean. So I'd say like our retention and people staying with the company is incredibly high because they like the feeling.
That's awesome.
Feel cleaner, and then their dental professional tells them it looks better. So.
Yeah, and I did not expect it to be able to remove plaque like my Sonicare did, but it actually does. I'm really sorry, Phillips. I am, but I'm a what do they call it? Call a burst a believer, a believer.
Kind of just on the burst bandwagon. You're bleeding purple is what we kind of say now.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Sandy, do you have a couple? Anyone ever suggest it in Lighthearted? Because obviously I'm not allowed in there because I'm definitely not trained as a dental hygienist. We can probably get on to, but so I'm not allowed in there.
Yeah, I know, and I have to keep the integrity of the group. I apologize for that.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. You don't want spies like me sitting in there. Frauds, imposters.
Creepy man bun guys. I'm not going to stop with a man bun. I'm sorry. But so we actually have a lot of burst ambassadors in my group, and which I think is awesome. And that's the thing, like, we want to talk about what is burst in general. So we know it's the toothbrush, but there's so much more to it. So why don't you give us like a real quick overview of what burst is? And then we have burst ambassadors in Lighthearted, so maybe you can talk about that a little bit too.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll keep it as brief as we can, then we can get on to talking like the Bachelorette and all the important things stuff. That No. Oral care is cool. It's cool.
It is. It's so cool.
It needs to be.
So in like our statement piece would be with the highest quality oral care recommended to you by your trusted dental professional. So what I mean by trusted dental professional and highest oral care, actually, it all relates back to our community, which I'd honestly like class as a family to me. Yes. And no, it wasn't necessarily where I very intended when I was in the UK before I moved to the States, what I was expecting to set up. But the more I learned, the more I spoke to people like Carlos at events like that pre-launch, the more it was clear that this was the route to go. Yeah. And when I say community, we have, I think we're up at 25,000 ambassadors, as they're called now. And an ambassador does everything from, the biggest blessing I have, I make product. I was very good. Like at 19, I'm not very good, but I'm all right. Yeah. At 19, I invented a first toothbrush. It was a kid's toothbrush. And I went out to Asia and I found designers and I got this thing made and I brought it home. However, what did a 19-year-old know that studied geography at university? Like what was he actually, what did he know about cleaning teeth? I asked a few dentists, and I asked, and I got some advice there. So the difference being now, and I've grown up and I really understand the industry a lot better than I used to, is that I turned to the community and I asked their opinion. And that is how, in honesty, we made that product that a lot of people like you, who traditionally would have been like, we're going for the big brands. Why they actually people are switching, because I'm listening to the feedback loop consistently from our community, like the family, that it's the easiest job in the world for me. I can put up a post real quick into our group and say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of an angle for a kid's brush? Or what do you think of this peroxide level for this? And I get instant feedback by thousands of professionals who are cleaning teeth every day. Yeah. And so, as I said, like, what, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know anything, but I do know how to get things made, and I know how to get things best designed. But I get to listen to people who do this every single day. And so when I talk about our community and like what is Burst, it's not me and my like immediate team, my co-founder Brittany. It's 25,000 people, and it's growing. Like, that is Burst. So we are an electric toothbrush right now, but we're developing a lot of other products with literal advice, and that's verbal advice, and product testing. We're about to do a big product test about a secret product, but 500-600 of our ambassadors who signed up first will be able to try that product before it's out, and no, it's not going to come in its sexy packaging, that it will come in later, but they'll get to try it, and they'll get to sort of give us feedback. And that feedback is extraordinary for us. I got to say, I don't know another company in the world that gets quite that quicker feedback from so many people who are professional. And so we look at them and we say, you're brand ambassadors. You're getting the word out about Burst. And at the moment, that's a toothbrush, toothpaste, whitening strips, and we're growing and consistently growing with that. But it's spreading the news. It's telling patients about it. It's telling other people in the community about it. It's spreading the word. So what we do, and our way of saying thank you, you haven't seen us on TV doing lots of ads. Maybe one day if the community votes for it, but if they don't, then we'll continue doing exactly what we do.
I saw Khloe Kardashian. She was rocking some.
She was, yeah. She was. Our latest one, which again we pick sort of people to help promote the word of Burst, is we just ask the community. So anyone in the group probably has a pretty good idea of who it's going to be. We haven't announced it yet because they all voted on it. Okay. And so again, that's how we've kind of consistently gone forward. So these brand ambassadors spread the word. To help them spread the word, we offer them, once you're signed up as an ambassador, you get your own discount code associated with you. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that people go to their dental professional. Like the big brands, which you have mentioned earlier, like I've heard some conflicts quite consistently where it's like, you can get it cheaper in Costco than you're ever going to get it at your dental practice, because obviously Costco have a buying power pretty much greater than any retail outlet in the world. And so who's, a dental practice, even a dental chain at 500-600 can't compete with what Costco orders. So what we're saying is, I don't sell to retail, not planning to. What we're going to be doing is we're going to make sure the dental practice or the dental professional is the lowest price on the market, always. And I get to control it because it's online. I'm not planning to make it lower. And so what we do is we say, okay, go to these people, the dental professional, the Burst ambassador gets their discount code, and then they get points, which we call crowns, associated with it every week. And we're a profit share company. So again, to say thank you for helping us with product development, for advice, like we had Smile Direct Club come to us and want to make a deal. I asked the community, and they voted absolutely not. So we didn't do a deal. And a lot of people said, I
could have told you that one.
Well, I kind of had a little inkling that was going to happen. But again, like we generally that day it came in and I said, let's just ask the community. They'll give us a yes, no. It was an outstanding no. And we were like, cool. Some of them were a little bit like, oh, we'll probably do it anyway. Or Brittany and Hamish will probably go and do it. But no, we would not. Like our thing is listening to them. We can't. Like it's their company. As I said, like we're just like shepherds for what they're doing. And so we profit share with the whole lot. So as the company does better each week, those crowns kind of take on a value, and we pay out according to how well the company's doing. So if the company's doing very well, because we did vote and we got together a big brand ambassador, like a big celebrity name, to help get the word out to their patients, then cool, we'll take that money and we split it amongst them all. And that's kind of how we plan to continue growing. Like there's nothing going to change. It's our bread and butter, and it makes me so happy to do this. Like it's very different from running an e-commerce company that I thought I was going to do. This is it feels like something special. Every day, and I go online and I see what they're up to, and I get to speak to them, and they are all friends. So
I know a lot of ambassadors, and I've seen your booths at different dental conventions, and the camaraderie and the teamwork, the enthusiasm for the product and for the service that you guys, it is different. It is pretty special to see.
Well, guys, if there's anyone that gets it, it's you two. Look at you both. Like, Carlos, every time I speak to you, I have to change my underwear because you've made me giggle too much. I tell you, like, just entertaining, light-hearted fun. Like, let's not take ourselves too seriously. So, like oral care, like it's a clinical product. But it can be fun too. Like, we all live a life. If you're going to be a dental hygienist for your whole, for 30, 40 years, you can still have fun. Like, it's a
most definitely
like enjoy your life.
Absolutely.
And like, so you guys get it fully. So when we go to these shows, like, we're enjoying each other's company. We're having a dance, having some fun. Like, you don't want to sit there and be like, clinically, this is exactly what it's. And it's like, well, we can explain that, but we can do it with a smile on our face. Like, that's
our motto.
Give you a smile.
We don't take anything too seriously, do we?
Right. Yeah. What's the point of that?
No.
What film is it where he goes, "You'll never get out alive"? Which one he goes? Don't take life too seriously. Oh, Van Wilder. Oh my God, I can't believe I just quoted that.
Oh Lordy.
Oh dear. Well, there you go. That's what Burst is. And so, we are a product first, and we'll be many products, like based on what the community votes for first. It helps me develop with my team here. But we're like a family, a community, and that's to me what makes us special.
Yeah. I think so when I started the Lighthearted group, I had a lot of comments like, you helped rejuvenate our interest in our careers. Like, I was about to give up on dental hygiene, and then I found people who felt the same way I did, and this gave us an outlet and blah, blah, blah. But, because I'm in some of the Burst groups, and I can see that same, like, excitement and
definitely
like camaraderie, like you were saying, between all the people. And I think anything that rejuvenates people in their careers is amazing, because there are too many miserable people on the earth already.
100%. And it's, but Sandy, you must have found, I found it very humbling. Like, I've had stuff sent to my house, or like, we throw this event every year called BurstCon. We did BurstCon 1, BurstCon 2, which was in Savannah, the last one. People may have seen stuff online. But we basically throw a huge party. It's just to celebrate the community. Like, we don't ask you to do CE. We just say, turn up, we'll pay for it all, and we want to have fun with you all. And I had a lot of them come up actually to my parents who were there and sort of say, thank you. Husbands would come up and talk about their wives to my parents who were again, like, humbled. And in the sense that I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't necessarily realize this impact. But as you put it, like, it's a rejuvenation of what you do every day in life. And like, we've helped people make friends, or, we're doing it, for example, this is what we're doing this, to celebrate Red, White Burst. We're doing this regional parties, because we've moved people into regions to help them become community friends within those regions. They can meet up, and we want to help that. And we're helping them throw parties. So we just put a budget behind, as long as people are interested and there's enough people in an area or near a city. Burst just covers it. We want people to get together, meet other people that are like-minded, and just, they don't need to talk about Burst. They don't need to talk about toothbrushes. What about the Bachelorette? For like, I just want you to go and meet, have fun, and like realize that there's more to life, And that's what's special for us.
I feel like that's how it goes. Like, they'll start talking about, Burst this, Burst that, but then it gets into, well, where are you from? What do you do? Like, what are your hobbies? Da, da, da. And then you can make lifelong friends. And that's basically, like, there's a lot of people in Lighthearted that have connected, and they do their own meetups. Like, we have a bunch of girls.
How great does it feel when it happens?
It's amazing. And, it is humbling. And I try, like, I think part of me feels like, well, I didn't really do anything, so that's my mentality. And I never want to be that person that takes all the credit.
I'm identical to you. Literally, Brittany and I turned around, like, we didn't do anything. All we did was we opened up a space for them to do exactly what everyone wanted to do. That was it.
Yes.
And that's everything from product to helping them meet to, like, it was going to happen anyway. We just sort of, added some enthusiasm. I can kind of say, like, my only role in life is kind of like hire and inspire, like, bring people together. Otherwise, I'm bloody useless.
Yeah. But Carlos, like, I feel like all three of us are kind of in the same business when we talk about, like, uplifting spirits and getting people rejuvenated in their careers, because Carlos gets to stand on stage in front of people and make them laugh their asses off.
And he's extraordinary. That's the first. Carlos, you must be the first comedian in dentistry, like, ever.
If not the first, definitely the best.
Oh, okay, you'll take that away. Okay, 100%. The only one we've all heard of.
I'm just excited to be able. I just want to make people smile. That's all, And either in the chair doing a very good job cleaning their teeth, or from a stage. I just want people to feel good. Life is heavy enough. Yes. I just want people to have fun and have a good time. Can we just relax?
I fully agree.
Yeah, and just
I think Elijah Desmond with Smiles at Sea does a fantastic job. He was one of my best friends in dentistry, and he did exactly the same thing. He's like, guys, it's going to enjoy ourselves. Like that first Smiles at Sea I did with him. By the way, I didn't even know him. He just invited me down. Like he heard about the group online, Burst Professionals. He sent me a message. Do you want to come meet? Next day, I flew down to Florida, jumped on a boat with him, and it was such a lot of fun. I was like, "You're doing something special here. These people are loving it. They're enjoying life. They're enjoying their, their profession again, and you've given them that opportunity. And I think that's pretty insane.
He's a good guy. Like that trip that I keep referring to in Cancun in 2017. He had me by myself. Then he goes, "Hey man, too many people coming. You mind if we camp out together?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no worries." I met him one time before that, and then he goes, "Hey, man," as I'm getting on the plane, "I'm sure you don't mind, but Hamish is going to stay with us." And I'm like, "All right, I don't know who Hamish is, but let's do it," And
I love it.
Honestly, it was the three biggest men I think in the whole thing were all together in a room, and it was a small room, and there was just one bed. I was like,
no. There were two beds.
Oh no, they were joined together. There was one big bed.
I think they split it off, but there definitely wasn't a whole lot of room to walk around.
I think you're remembering as you'd like to remember.
I'm pretty sure.
What happens in Cancun probably needs to stay.
But Sandy, it's 100 degrees, right? It's July degrees. In Mexico. Yes. And and then Hamish comes in, right, shirtless with his hair down. He was like, "I just went for a run, mate. I just did about 3 miles." And I'm like, I am dying. And this freaking guy is out there jogging on the beach. Are you serious, man?
Yeah, I walked like John Wayne for the next 3 days, but I felt good at the
time. Unbelievable, man. I mean, we hit it off instantly, and we had a couple great conversations. And I'm just glad to have met you back then, before you were, as famous as you are now.
By the way, exactly the same. By the way, Carlos, we were in exactly the same position. Like, we hadn't launched. We were like exploring options, like what we're going to do with ourselves in dentistry, as it were. And I had a pretty good idea, but it wasn't concrete. You had a pretty good idea. Elijah was great, encouraged you to go and do this. And look at you, I don't even get to see you at, RDH on one roof because you're doing a talk. Right.
I know. I want to go, but I don't think I can this year, but
no.
Soon.
He's so fancy.
Soon.
So what I would like to know, Hamish, is, so you don't have a dental background. So why did you think toothbrush? I'm going to make a toothbrush.
Yeah, it was a weird one, actually. My mother still thinks I'm absolutely mad, given what I knew about oral care before I started. But basically at 19, I was at University of Bristol. I was studying geography, which people don't really get the UK setup. But basically, you can study anything you want and then go and do any job you want afterwards. So a lot of my friends did history, and they've ended up in the city, or they did English, and they ended up in, as a lawyer. Like it can do anything you want. So, geography was kind of I didn't need to do that many lectures. I could turn up, have a bit of fun. And my plan was to go go into the city. I wanted to do that. And then I realized that, ugly, quite smelly man buns aren't really acceptable if you want to go into banking and things. And I was like, oh, God. So after one summer, I thought I need to set up my own company because I'm really unemployable. I'm not the best person to be employed, as anyone that's worked with me will experience. And so I thought I need to set up a company. Was reading around like a lot of entrepreneurial books, etc. And one night I'm drinking way too many beers, as you do at university. And
never.
And, I was smoking Zarifa, as I can't do anymore. Depends me to sleep. And and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if our toothbrush kind of stood up? Anyway, one thing led to the next. I thought it was a great idea. I told my brother. He thought I was mad. My mother, completely bonkers, she thought. And I decided to go get this toothbrush made, and I was going to do it. And I thought it was a good enough idea that maybe I didn't need to get that job in the city after all. So I kind of set on this path. I got the thing made. I learned about manufacturing, and I got it sold. Basically, I got it listed in a retail shops, a bit like Walgreens, CVS, but of the UK. So we call them Boots, Superdrug, Tesco's, that type of thing. So I did that, and literally every year, I promise you, when I say I was like, I'm going to get out of this. Like, what do I really know about oral care? But then every year I'd turn up to more dental conventions, and every year I'd speak to more dentists. And by the end I was like, actually, I kind of know quite a lot, and I know where there's sort of gaps in the market. And I was using more my businessy brain, because that's really what I had, but understanding an industry. So, hierarchies in the dental office, who to go and speak to for advice, and how it all works, and also where there was the biggest gap that I thought was kind of being exploited by certain big brands to an extent. It really is like an oligopoly in terms of there's only a couple of main players. It's very hard to get in unless you have a unique business model. And so that was kind of it. And then I decided to go off to make an electric toothbrush with, my knowledge, and what better way at that point than asking basically mainly hygienists, assistants, dentists, and leading the charge and that's how we kind of started at Burst, was, dental hygienists. So I felt they clean the teeth every day, so I should bring them up and I should have a conversation. And I did, and that's kind of how it started. And then I started to just irritate everyone online after I moved to the States and said, hey, come join my group. I've got this idea. I promise you'll like it. I need your advice. And 100 became 200, became 300, became, we're now nearly 10,000 in that group, and we're 25,000 strong. And so it kind of started like that, and everything's kind of happened, I feel, for a reason. So my knowledge now is not bad about oral care. Like if I'm at a house party or, at a friend's house, I will end up in the bathroom, and if I see a toothbrush, I will look at the bristles, or I'll check the ingredients of the toothpaste. And if I get caught, I have to bolt out the bathroom window because they don't want me in the house anymore.
What choice do you have? You have to.
If I can fit out the window, I'll give it a damn good go. So as I said, I don't have that background in oral care, so that's why I just have to listen.
Right. Yeah.
You listen to other people's advice and take the best of it. Hygienists in particular have an opinion. Which is great. They're always
no doubt.
Which makes me, it's a strong opinion, but now
very strong. Yes, and
100%.
But and I might add, loyal to whatever works for them. They do. If you have one instrument that you like, use that instrument on a 3-year-old, on some guy with 2 teeth, whatever. If you,
Carlos, that's what we've experienced. Because
loyal.
A lot of people sat there and said, well, Sandy, you got your big brand, name product when you were at university or college still.
Yeah.
And, people have been like, well, they can't be any good. They're selling it at a lower price. We're used to the best toothbrushes costing an absolute fortune, which I'm trying to show people it doesn't need to be. I'm not trying to say everyone's overcharging you. I'm basically trying to show you, look, if I can get it to you at this price, well, and it's this good a product. It's just getting people to try it first, because once they try it, they're like, oh my gosh, this isn't that bad. This is actually really good, and the price is really low and it's affordable for my patients. So I see what you mean. Like I've had hygienists that have cleaned teeth for longer than I've been born, who are a little bit cynical, as you can imagine. That's 30 years of cleaning teeth and always using a certain product.
Yes.
All the devices they use every day, as well as that electric toothbrushes, the toothpaste they like, and so to get them around to trying a brush, it does require some massaging, which I'm hoping we're breaking that down. The more people hear about Burst, the more they, with 3-4 touch points, maybe a friend of yours, an assistant, a hygienist, a colleague you see online, they say, I've tried it and I like it. And eventually people have, but at the beginning, people were like, oh, this guy, what is he talking about?
Right. He's not even a hygienist.
He's not. And I never claimed to be a hygienist. Like I've never... that's not me. I studied geography, and
Hey,
but you don't know where St. Louis is. What the heck?
Well,
European.
You know what? Actually, touche, Sandy. Touche. I'm European,
and that's why
I can tell you where Birmingham is. I mean, that's in England. But if anyone's watched Peaky Blinders on Netflix, that is Birmingham. Have you watched Peaky Blinders?
I know of it. I've never seen it.
I've never heard of it.
I haven't been able to convince my girlfriend to give this a go, because she starts watching it, and it is looked at. Once you love it, well, she can't understand it. Like a Birmingham accent, you can't understand a Birmingham accent, so people stop. So I'd say put the subtitles on, and then once you've done that, 2 episodes in, you'll get it.
Interesting enough, I had my DNA tested, and it came back almost 29% British, and I believe you have to say it that way. And then they refreshed it, and it turned out to be French, Spanish, and Portuguese. I'm like, that's not British at all.
No, that's actually not.
What is that?
No, it should have said Scottish, Welsh, a bit of Irish.
That's what I'm saying.
The Spanish, if you told a Spaniard that they're British, they'd be like, you what?
What? I'm Welsh.
I was a little disappointed.
I like Wales, actually.
Yeah, my princess. What's up now? All right, so I would love to do my ancestry DNA. I've never done it. I'd like to do it. My maiden name is Welsh. That's like the background, but I haven't done like the genealogy or whatever to figure out if it's like straight up I'm from Wales or anything like that.
Well, it's 23andMe. You got to go and do one. I think is that what you use, Carlos?
I use Ancestry.com.
Okay. Do you have to do blood sample or anything?
I think you just swipe or spit into a little test tube and you send it in.
Okay.
A little saliva, nice. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to do it someday.
Tasty.
Yeah. Oh my god. For being a hygienist, the thing that I cannot deal with is saliva and drool. I just can't do it. Like, it freaks me out.
How did you practice hygiene for so long?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like a miracle that I last a day clinically. So I don't do much clinical now. Like I do, I go to like a lot of meetings.
Okay.
I mean, I love what I do, but if they just have too much spit, that I just, it gags me a little. The normal.
How do you think they're feeling? I bet they're gagging if they've got that much spit in their mouth.
Some of them, I don't know.
All juicy and stuff.
It's all juicy and stuff. Yeah,
gross.
Like they've just had a chomp.
So Hamish, when we have people on for interviews, we just ask you random questions to get to know you a little bit better. So
watch out! I'm a little bit crass. I have been known. Maybe get the bleeper out or the horn for.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right. Okay. I'm preparing myself here. This could get worrying. I do warn you. I either will go utterly blank or something horrible will come out my mouth.
It is what it is. Right. I think we'll work with it.
It is what it is. So warning, NSF, not safe for work here, people. Sorry.
You've been
legal team approves of the warning, so we can carry on.
There you go.
So are you ready for this?
Hit me.
Okay. Texting or talking?
Texting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take that one back. It depends what the mood is. I don't really text, and I'm actually going to go, if I have to do, I don't love my phone is the problem. I'd like to throw it out.
Well, that's nice. I mean, I'm addicted to it. It's like glued to my hand 24/7. John hates it. I wish I could say the same. Like, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
What about you, Carlos?
Text, probably.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. But I am in the mood once in a while to do talking.
Yeah, it's a long session, I've always.
Yeah. Favorite day of the week?
Monday.
Okay, weirdo.
Well, there's no difference. I work on a Sunday, I work on a Saturday, I work on a Monday. I love Monday. I probably love Mondays even more because I know a lot of people don't like them, so I try and give them a bit of enthusiasm.
Oh, you don't want Monday to feel left out and oppressed?
No, not at all. I feel like it doesn't really, I don't really know the day of the week most of the time. Oh. I'm kind of always online to an extent. I kind of know when it's Sunday because I get less emails. Does that make sense? Yeah.
That's funny.
Or people don't reply to me as quick as I'd hope.
Right. You're like, where are these people? We're at church. I mean, give us a break here. Favorite city in the U.S. besides where you live?
Dallas.
Dallas?
I bet you didn't see that one coming. No. You know what? If it wasn't California, I was going to move to Texas. I'm a huge fan. I love honky tonking. So as we discussed at the beginning, is it called honky tonking? Come on down to the hoedown type of thing. I like putting on leather boots and hats, and I try and fit in as much as I can. Exactly. And so if anyone, by the way, this is just, I don't know if we got it in earlier, but if anyone's under RDH under one roof coming up shortly, we will be going to the honky tonk. I've forgotten the name of it now. Red River Cafe. It's my favorite bar in the United States. And so, we're taking a big group there. So anyone that comes to our party that Burst is throwing before, we will continue to party. I will have my highest leather boots. And
fancy.
And not much else.
And basically, not much else. Maybe a long Burst tee.
But a man bun.
So if you want to catch Hamish, the man bun, leather boots, and some chaps, probably.
Yeah,
under one
I'm going to grow out the Guinevere hair. Maybe I'll drop the man bun just so it covers a little bit more.
Okay, nickname your parents used to call you?
Ham. Like the deli meat. Yeah.
Yes, like the deli meat.
Yeah.
Last song you downloaded. Do people download songs anymore, though? Let's do last song you streamed.
There you go.
I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness.
Oh. You're surprising me.
I bet you didn't see them coming. The Darkness. Justin grew up near where I grew up, actually. And he was in the local town before he went bankrupt. Poor Justin from The Darkness. If anyone hasn't seen him, he wore long white pants, long hair. He was a bit skinnier than myself. But he was epic. And if ever you end up in a karaoke with me, that song, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, just listen to the rhythm of my heart. You see, I'm not talented at singing at all.
Oh,
wow.
When I do karaoke, I'm just screaming, basically.
What do you say?
I had to pull my underpants up really high when I did that.
Oh
but it worked, I
guess. Sandy, karaoke. What do you do? What's your song? I've never done it.
Oh, Jesse's Girl, no doubt.
Really?
Which one's Jesse's? Can you sing a little bit of that, Sandy?
Jesse's Girl.
Carlos, come on. What about you? There must be a song in that.
I've never done it, man.
You've never done karaoke?
No, I've been and watched people.
We cannot be friends.
I know. That's.
Actually, guys,
time,
can we make a virtual pact right now? Like hands in. Yes. The next time we're all in the city together.
Yes.
Ooh, karaoke. We'll all do
karaoke.
And you have a deal, Carlos. You're not getting away from that one.
No, I can carry a tune, my friend.
Oh, but fair warning though, all I do is scream.
Wow. I can't wait.
That's the same as me. To be honest, if we go up together, we'll sound like a pair of banshees.
Right. Okay, let's see. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Every language in the world.
Really?
I get to, I like people, so I get to talk to everyone. Yeah. It's a big disappointment in myself. I don't. Are you?
I think a lot of people, because when you go to other countries, a lot of the times you can get by without knowing their language. I would love to see what the hell my dogs are talking about behind my back.
Huh.
Just saying.
It's not the dogs you need to worry about. It's the cats.
Yeah.
I got one of those too. Yeah. Freaking crazy.
Yeah. Imagine what your horse is saying as you're riding it.
Oh, probably get the hell off my back.
Yeah, it would be consistent. My God, it was just moaning.
If you only knew, right?
Yeah, right. The horse is like, I'm going to shit right on the ground, and I don't care.
We're in the middle of the driveway.
How long does it take you to get ready to go somewhere?
38 seconds.
Stop.
I'm quite well known for not really dressing up that well. Like what you're looking at me now, no one can actually see. It's a podcast. Black t-shirt and it's shorts today with no underpants and it's either jeans with no underpants. It basically goes on instantly. The man bun goes up. It's wet. When I get back at the end of the day, the man bun is still wet because it's so thick. And I'm ready to go. Boom. And every 6 weeks I shave my back. And
you should wax. It's so much better.
You should see the wounds. Honestly, it looks like being whipped back there. Yeah. Maybe I have.
Here's a good one. Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
I actually think it is. No, I'm putting that one in. It's like I once bought my brother these bacon. He's vegetarian. My brother. He was vegan for a while as well, and I bought him these bacon flavored crisps, but they have no meat in them, and he loved it. And I was like, there's something really not right about this.
Okay, so if you're vegetarian, it should be just on principle that you do not eat animal crackers or bacon flavored chips or crisps.
This is one of those ones I don't like to take sides because I've met some angry vegans in my time. Some of those scratches back there, it's angry vegans. I have a few in the family. You know what though? I have to say, bean burgers are not that bad. I ended up with a pack of frozen bean burgers from Trader Joe's. I don't think Trader Joe's.
You're right. They're not that bad.
Yeah. They're kind of I was really hungover one morning and I just kept trying straight from frozen. There was no fear that I undercooked my chicken, which I do every time. Yeah. It was plain this ain't gonna kill me, and it's quite tasty with a lot of ketchup.
It's just a bean burger. I've had one at a restaurant close to me, and it was pretty dang good. It was.
You gotta season it. That's all.
Yeah, you gotta season your chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't eat it bland. You know.
Well, and you should probably kill it first.
You know.
Maybe. So I think the last one I'll end on. I haven't been keeping track, but maybe this is 10.
I got 10 points for Gryffindor.
You do.
Okay.
And Voldemort said you're fired. So.
Touche. Absolutely.
So this is going to be very deep. Like.
Ooh. Deep and meaningful.
Deep
DMC.
And meaningful.
Right.
What does a person need to be happy?
A purpose.
Boom.
Agreed.
Knowledge.
They need. And if anyone wants to hear, I could go on for hours about that subject. A purpose. Read my favorite book, and I probably bought 65 of them. I'm not joking. If I check through my Amazon history, a book called Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, and his belief on logotherapy. I am obsessed, and I really believe as long as you wake up every morning and you achieve something, even if it's small, you'll feel 100%, like 100,000 times better. The guys, for example, there was a study done on the guys that came back from the moon, the first trip, and a lot of them hit major depression afterwards. And it was because once they'd achieved this huge goal, they'd been working towards for years and years. What was there? And they believed there wasn't anything that could surpass this. They woke up every day without something. One of them did, and I think he went into teaching. And even for him, that was, it wasn't going to the moon. A lot of people said that you can't get any better than that. But it wasn't about that. It's not about how big that is. It's not about how big that achievement is every day. It's about, like, did you further towards a goal, or did you complete something that you feel good about? And I really believe if you can do that every day, you can be happy. I'm one of those irritating people, though. It's Viktor Frankl. It's by him, Man's Search for Meaning. Okay. And before anyone, they'll see it and they'll be like, it's about a concentration camp and a guy that survives. But he was a therapist before he went in. So his take on it isn't really about his experience within the camp. It's about the emotional side of the whole ordeal for him, whether that be his take on the guards, to other prisoners, to himself, to how he acted, and then his opinion. He creates his own form of therapy at the end called logotherapy. It's one of those books. I did this silly thing around 4 years ago. I decided to row an ocean. I'm a bit odd like that. I pick things and I've got to achieve it and I've got to do it. And so I spent 73 days on a rowboat crossing the Indian Ocean. And I probably read that book 25 times because it kept me a little bit sane when you're rowing 12 hours a day.
Wow.
And you're there's nothing else to do. 2 hours of rowing, 2 hours off. And it kept me a bit sane. On my 2 hours off, I'd pick up that book and one other book actually. And I just kept rereading them.
You didn't have a tiger in your boat, did you?
I didn't, sadly. I looked a bit like a tiger. There was one of these actually. Do you know what? I look like I'm probably not a tiger, more a sheep. With the hair everywhere. Yes, and there was one day I was looking out, and it was just we wouldn't see any boats. There was no support boat or anything, so we were literally on our own. And we'd go like 10 days without seeing another boat. And I remember looking up, and there's a seagull, and it was sort of flying across. And I said to the guy that was rowing with me, I was like, look at the seagull. And he was like, it's a cool seagull. They got closer, and I was like, holy, that's a really big seagull. And then it dive bombed me. And at that point, I was like, this thing is enormous. And it turned out it was actually an albatross. And it pulled out last minute. But it must have thought me just with heavenly tasty sheep in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
Because albatross, they hunt sheep. You knew that, right?
I actually had no idea. I have to be honest, I wasn't 100% sure. I kind of took a mental picture, but I was like, there's no way that was a seagull. It was like 8 seagulls. It looked like it was a seagull that ate a seagull that ate a seagull that had babies and ate those babies and then ate more seagulls. And then it became this absolute, it's the biggest bird in the world.
They're known for going after the rare but elusive sea sheep. And a lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
It detected my scent from many miles off, actually.
Wow.
I was a bit smelly at the end of that. Not very good oral care. It doesn't facilitate brushing your teeth a lot when you're in the middle of the ocean.
If you did have a burst brush with you, it would have lasted you the whole trip almost, right?
Oh my gosh, I love that transition. That was actually, he's got 2 mics, he's dropped them both. With a 4-week battery life, longest on the market for an electric toothbrush, I think it wouldn't have quite covered me. Okay. I'd have had to solar panel it up because 73 days, I think I've ousted it. given how many times I actually managed to brush my teeth in that scenario, it would have actually lasted me a couple of trips back and forth.
Oh my gosh. You did not just say that.
I may have just said that on an oral care podcast.
Well, with that, we better go.
Okay, well, take care now.
That's why I've got all these lovely hygienists in our community to give me advice and help me out.
Exactly. And you have plenty of people to clean your teeth if you need it.
For sure.
So, burstoralcare.com. Please check it out.
Please, if you're interested, if you're interested in learning a little bit more, I always say join the group Burst Professionals on Facebook, and you'll see just like the most amazing community. I go live there a lot, and I talk, and whether that be burst updates or life updates, or things that are happening in the industry, we talk a lot on that. And so join burstprofessionals.com. Not burstprofessionals.com, Burst Professionals on Facebook. If you'd like to find out even more, we can put it probably in the link, but burstprofessionals.com as well. You'll find more information about our ambassador program, for which it's a $20 deposit to try the toothbrush. A lot of people say, why don't you just give it for free? I'm like, if I gave it for free, I'd be out of money before. Like, if I took my sock off at a dental show, someone would take it. So it's one of those things. It's $20 deposit. If you really hate the brush, I will give you your $20 back. I'm not there to make money out of the community and our ambassadors. If you love it, we'll accept you as an ambassador. And when you make one recommendation to a friend, family member, spouse, etc., we will give you money back as well. So it's just about our way of trying to get you to try that brush. Because a Sandy experience, Carlos, once you try it,
you're hooked.
You're hooked.
Dusty.
Like a fish.
You're bleeding purple.
That's right.
You're bleeding purple, yes.
With a barbed,
Yeah, so that's awesome, and I feel bad for the other brushes that I used to use, but I don't think why go back if I love this one so much, right?
Yeah,
I can't blame you. Yeah. As well as that, I send you a new head every 3 months, don't I?
Right. So it's like, and that's the other thing, like a subscription service for your toothbrush heads. Like, hello, how many times have you your toothbrush bristles are splayed out because you were you've been using it for a year and a half and you're like, I wonder how long I've been using this brush head. Well, the new one comes in the mail, a week before you're supposed to change it. Boom.
And then, change it out. It will always fit. It will be at a really good price, which charge $6 for a new head and we pay for shipping and then it arrives. Nice. But that's $6 if you're a patient. For people that sign up as ambassadors, it's $3. I mean,
Hey-o.
I'm just giving them away. I just like you guys to have fresh teeth. Yeah. You help make it after all, so.
Yeah.
There we
go.
That's
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
You can't beat that at all, guys. We were just impressed with just the overall value and just, again, how well it works and just the whole business model.
Just so, by the way, everyone needs to know it's $39 for your patients. And we pay for shipping.
Boom.
Way cheaper than the others.
There's
those that should not be named. Those that should not be named if you're carrying on the Harry Potter.
The Voldemort brushes.
Yeah.
The alkaline battery operated brushes are near that price. So why not do yourself a favor and stop
get the best brush out there
and get the Cadillac of toothpaste.
Actually, I won't say. I obviously believe it's the best brush out there, but I can't force that down anyone's proverbial throat. Try it out. Make your own opinion on it.
That's it.
We're just there to help you try it and give another alternative for your patients who maybe can't afford the really expensive ones.
And just so you know, Hamish, Carlos and I, we want to be your first Burst cast. That's what I'm saying. Burst cast. What up now, bro? Brah.
She's been talking like that since we've been hanging out. I don't know where it's coming from.
Where did it come from?
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
No idea.
Anyway, so thank you. It was so nice of you to come on and tell us all about your company, the toothbrush, the environment that you've created on Facebook. It's amazing. I go in there and I'll just if I see my friends have posted, I'll go in there and look around a little bit. And I'm looking forward to doing more in there. So
definitely.
So thanks for the opportunity to check it out.
Thanks for having me, team. Honestly, you're both a pleasure. And I'm sure we're going to do a lot more.
Pleasure having you, man. Thank
in
you
the future.
So much.
I need to get up now because I'm absolutely bursting for a wee-wee.
Bursting for a wee-wee, huh?
Bursting for a wee-wee. Look at that. But guys, honestly, absolute pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And
thank you much.
Yes. Do some shopping and, grab some food for dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think, man?
I'm gonna grab a quick picture. Smile, everybody. Just real quick. All right, cool. Thank you.
Guys, thanks a lot.
Take care.
Good night.
Peace out.
Well, that was amazing. That was Hamish Kayat from Burst Oral Care, and he's a fun interview.
I had fun just listening to the stories and just hearing about the company and stuff in the background. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Yeah, and he's very easygoing. He's an easy interview. I thought it was a lot of fun.
We're both British, he and I.
Yeah, you guys have so much in common. I mean, the man bun.
Not so much.
Not really, so but.
But super cool dude, man. And again, Burst won our toothbrush challenge, and
Battle
no
of the brushes.
crossed fingers here, folks. That's how we really feel about it. So
yeah, we don't mess around. We're not liars.
Yeah. So this was,
and you can't buy our love.
No. Well, maybe.
Okay, maybe. It depends on how much.
It is for sale. It's just expensive.
Right.
So episode 35 in the books.
Heck yeah. In the books. Right. Releasing on Friday, June.
That will be the 21st.
Yes.
21st.
Okay, 21st then.
And yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah. So, and keep in mind, episode 36, we have a very good episode planned for you. Don't miss it.
That's next week. Because this is
not the 21st, but the 28th.
Okay.
Put it in your ears.
Yeah.
So contact us at offyourflosser@gmail.com. Oh, Carlos, didn't you get some messages or something the other day?
I did.
On our OIF line?
Yes.
So I don't know what I put some people on a mission, but I didn't hear the results of that.
Okay.
I can only imagine. Right. Oh, Lordy. Oh, and the phone number 256-74-FLOSS or 256-743-5677. OIF line.
All right, well, one of the messages I got last Thursday was honk if you're Randy.
Oh, Randy.
Okay. Somebody said to you, stop dancing, Missy, and take your puppies for a walk.
What?
Yeah.
Who said that?
And I don't know.
Nice.
Somebody said,
I like to dance,
said, hi,
though.
Sandy. And then this one got real deep.
Hi, Sandy.
Yeah. Here's a deep one. It says, what if our existence was a petri dish experiment done by aliens that grew wildly out of control, and when they come to Earth, they are checking up on their experiment, us, and sometimes take us to probe and monitor progress, but they make their existence seem like a conspiracy because they don't want us to break through the fourth wall. And a bunch of happy smiley faces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is deep. So I think if that's the case, then you better use a lot of lube with the anal probe.
Jeez.
Because I ain't taking that dry.
Okay.
Well, thanks for sending us some messages. I love it. I was like, heck yeah, we need some interactions.
Even though some of the messages were cryptic and a little, out there, but that's cool. That's what we like, So keep it up. 256
a little crazy
743-5677.
Find us on Facebook and Instagram, and we're on Twitter, but we're not very active on Twitter because I don't know, I just don't like it as much.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't. We're going against the grain. So suck
here's the grain, and this is us going against it. Okay.
Yes, grain us. Boom, perpendicular, man.
So stupid.
All right, I'm gonna go eat some pizza.
Well, you can do that.
Gluten-free, crappy pizza though. Actually, it's pretty
homemade.
Good, but anyway, yeah, but it's gluten-free, so the crust is like really hard to get right. So John's experimented a lot, and some of it's really good, and then some of it's like a little chewy. Okay. I don't know, but I still eat it. Heck yeah! I mean, it's pizza, right?
Yeah. How bad can it be?
Right. Exactly. It's pizza.
Anyway, great seeing you, man.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Guys, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to go floss yourselves.
Go friggin' floss yourselves.
For the love of God.
There we go.
It.
In the books.
Episode 35.
Episode 35.
Hamish Kayat.
Oi!
Have a good night.
Yes, with Hamish.
Bye.
Bye.